me get to this. Today is the 27th. Oh, well, 27. Save. Let's go over here to this scene. Can y'all hear me okay? If you can hear me, I need a 5x5 in the chat. Hey, Collipop. We're going to let a few people get in here. I'm going to post this. Folks, we really need your all's help to be able to keep on doing this. I'm going to post a link here. If you haven't become a member yet over on Coffee Club to get access to our Discord, please do so. And also, if you are in Discord and you have not moved your membership over to Coffee Club, and you was a member on the old YouTube channel, you need to be getting your membership moved over, please. We're actively going through in stages and kicking people that has not got their membership moved over. We really need you to get your membership moved over. So if you can, go over there, think about getting some coffee. Let's see, we have a message over on. Got that took care of. How is everyone today? Trying to wait for some people to get moved in here. I am going to be posting them. Let's see here. I need to go over here to the all call channel. Let's get these links. Copy. Hey, Prepper. Are you in the Discord, Prepper? If so, and you have not moved your membership over to Coffee Club, there is a link that I have posted in chat. Please do so. And if you would like to become a member, we would greatly appreciate it because the memberships is the only thing that's keeping us being able to do this because of what YouTube has done to us for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Folks, we got some big news. I'm kind of waiting for some people to get in. Here is the link to the memberships. I'm posting it again here. So it's just $5 a month. And you get alerts for all the streams. You get behind the scenes info, and you get access to our roundtables that we have started doing on Wednesdays and Saturdays. The roundtables is like a giant video conference call that we have started doing. You can come in the roundtable, join us, chat with us, ask us questions, and have a good time. We done one Saturday, and we had a very good conference call. Everybody had a good time. I'm trying to wait on some people to get in here. Between the two channels, we have 18. You'll have 20 watching. Also, folks, over here on my U-Boobs, for the ones that don't know, we are on Rumble. There is a link to Rumble that I just posted. Our 24/7 streams are on Rumble. Sunday sermons are on Rumble. So go over to Rumble, follow us, because that's where you're going to find us most of the time, except for these news breakdowns. Like to get a few more people in here before I break this huge news, and it's exactly what me and Lee has been saying. Huge news, folks. Hey, we're waiting for some people to get in here because this is massive, massive, massive news. We posted a RC excavator video, a new one, really good video, a couple days ago, and it has got a total of 9 views. I guess I don't understand. It's just amazing. Hey, Lisa. All right, there's 15 in here now. Also, folks, I know, Gray. I don't understand. It's just that channel where it was linked to, I guess, the news channel. It's just so censored that nobody can find us. Yep, censorship, Nadine. Hey, folks, here's the big news. We've got a few of you in here now. U.S. officials are now worried that Putin and XI, which is Xi, Chinese president, are factoring U.S. munition shortages from the Iran war and other um, conflicts into their calculations for the next major moves in Ukraine, Europe, for Russia, and Taiwan, Japan, South Korea for China. This is exactly what I have been saying. And I'm going to pull this up and we're going to let the AI. But I added a few words into this one because it's just not Taiwan for China. It's going to be Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan is the prize. So we're going to let. And officials are already saying the 13-day bombing campaign had the opposite effect that it was intended, making the Iranians stronger and allowing Iranian leaders to focus attention on external threats. Here we go.
Breaking. U.S. officials are now worried that Putin and Xi are factoring U.S. munitions shortages from the Iran war into their calculations for next major moves in Ukraine and Europe for Russia and against Taiwan for China, per NYT. The 13 consecutive.
Just a little FYI. We're going to read this again here. Just a little FYI. There's 2 times a year that China is able to cross the Taiwan Strait. Once in the spring and once in the fall, when the water is just calm enough. So, and the fall one is coming up fast.
Breaking. U.S. officials.
Grayfon, U.S. officials has access to our stockpile information.
Officials are now worried that Putin and Xi are factoring U.S. munitions shortages from the Iran war into their calculations for next major moves in Ukraine and Europe for Russia and against Taiwan for China, per NYT. The 13 consecutive nights of attacks and counterattacks have drawn down inventories that were already half used since April, with the Pentagon firing more than 1,200 Patriot interceptors at over $4 million each. Trump canceled his massive attack on Iran Friday night over the same concern, that Iranian attacks could drain Patriot stocks close to zero. U.S. officials also worry the 13-day bombing campaign had the opposite effect of what was intended, making the Iranians stronger and allowing Iranian leaders to focus attention on an external threat.
I am going to post our Rumble link again in the YouTube chat. Y'all go over there and check that out. That's where you will find us 24 hours a day. It's over on Rumble. But yeah, this is exactly what I've been saying. That this was the BRICS plan. BRICS are Brazil, India, China, Russia, and I forget the other one. South Africa, I think. And there's a lot of other little countries that is in BRICS. Let me ask here. New chat. Who is the members of the BRICS? I can't remember all of them. Yeah, it's hot and muggy here too, Lisa. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, United Arab Emirates. That's interesting. The UAE is a member of BRICS. Indonesia. What we'll do here is I'm going to pull over here and get to this, and we will let our helper read this.
The current full members of BRICS, as of mid-2026, are 10 countries. 1. Brazil, founding member, 2006-2009. 2. Russia, founding member, 2006-2009. 3. India, founding member, 2006-2009. 4. China, founding member, 2006-2009. 5. South Africa joined 2010. The group then became known as BRICS. 6. Egypt joined January 2024. 7. Ethiopia joined January 2024. 8. Iran joined January 2024. 9. United Arab Emirates joined January 2024. 10. Indonesia joined January 2025. BRICS began as BRIC Brazil, Russia, India, China, and expanded over time. A major expansion was announced in 2023, effective 2024, with further growth in 2025. en.wikipedia.org. Saudi Arabia was invited in 2023 alongside the 2024 joiners, and is frequently listed on official BRICS presidency sites, e.g., India's 2026 chairship materials, as a member. However, it has not fully formalized its accession. Saudi officials have stated that the country is still evaluating membership, and it has often participated in a more limited or invited capacity. Status reports as recent as 2026 confirm it remains under consideration rather than a completed full member in the same sense as the others. Pecosoperating.com. There is also a partner country category introduced around the 2024 Kazan Summit for closer cooperation without full membership. These include Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Nigeria, Thailand, Uganda, Uzbekistan, and Vietnam, with some variation in exact lists across sources. BRICS2026.gov.in. BRICS is an informal intergovernmental grouping focused on economic cooperation, development, and greater representation for emerging economies, sometimes called BRICS Plus in its expanded form. It has no permanent secretariat or founding treaty and makes decisions by consensus.
It is also like NATO. It is a defense pack. Yes, Grayfon. It is a heck of a list. But yep, U.S. officials are now worried that Russia and China are factoring U.S. munition shortages from the war in Iran and other conflicts into their calculations for the next major move. So we have used more than 1,200 Patriot interceptors. Can anybody tell me how many we make per year? Um, to that, I can pull the chat because that's AI. Yeah, give me a second, who I'll pull the and I'll drop it into the BRICS channel. Discord. We went to that. BRICS. I know we got a BRICS channel. Where's our BRICS channel at? Well, okay, that channel should be down here. Okay, I got it fixed now. We had it in the wrong channel list. There you go. It is in the BRICS channel there, Lisa. Yep, we make 600 a year. But we're going to increase production to 2,000 by 2030. So we have used 2 years worth of manufacture since April. And of course, we sell massive amounts of these too to other countries. How many? We sold 4,250 Patriots to Gulf nations. I don't know when we done that. It doesn't say. We got record backlogs. Reported its defense backlog has surged to a staggering $119 billion, driven by soaring international demand for Patriots across Europe and the Middle East. U.S. active supplies Patriot systems to 16 allied nations. So we approved emergency sale of roughly 4,250 Patriot missiles in May of this year. Pentagon officials expressed alarm over the sale because we have already used 1,300 interceptors. This has significantly drained American stockpiles. The United States has an estimated between 900 and 1,270 Patriot missiles remaining in its current stockpile. That's all we got. We've got about 400 of older variants. So we've only got 900 to 1,270 remaining. Don't know, Grayfon. It takes a while to do that too, Grayfon. Takes a long time to do that. They just can't turn on a switch. Ukrainian military says if Iran attacks us, we will attack Iran with our long-range drones. Also, Trump is planning to blame Hexteth for losing the Iran war ahead of the midterms. Also, we have severe flooding again in China. Yeah, Retro. Trump says he's going to ask Putin about Russia helping Iran target U.S. bases in the Middle East. Retro. That's about asking about like asking Bafif if he stole the copper, and Ben saying Bafif saying no, and Ben dropping off charges. It's just amazing. I want to know how many crops have been lost in China. Look at, I'm going to post a link to a video. You all check this out. This is in China, folks. This is ongoing flooding in China. Here's another link to another video. As we go on into this SM, these floods like this are just going to become more, and more common. How many times is this now? I've lost count. How many times the whole eastern part of China has flooded almost. But I really want to know how many crops has been lost in China. Because I'm sure it's a staggering amount. I'm sure it is. I mean, once the crops gets flooded, they're done, folks. Once the crops go underwater, they're done. Saudi's Emcro suspends operations at the world's largest oil refinery in Saudi Arabia after Houthi drone strike ignites raging fires. 7 million barrels a day just evaporated from global oil supplies. This typhoon has caused buildings to crack apart over in China. There's some video links to that. On July 27th, which is today, the typhoon has triggered record breaking torrential rains in eastern Guangdong, with Shuang and Jianyang seeing surging flow waters and rainfall exceeding records of 535 millimeters in 24 hours. Now, I'm going to post you another link to check out. That was what I just read off. Yep, 1/3 of China's underwater right now, folks. How many inches is 535 millimeters? It's way up there, I'm sure. It's 21 inches of rain. It's almost an inch per hour. Just amazing. But you absolutely won't believe it. But right now, 1/3 of China is underwater. And I really, really, really want to know how many crops have been lost. That comes on top of the major crop loss events we just had in Mexico with earthquakes. We've got the breadbasket of Europe offline, Ukraine, gobs more of areas. We've got massive flooding in the U.S. too. It's flooding crop fields out. And we're just now getting started into this era of this GSM. You are getting a little taste now of the flooding, and you ain't seen nothing yet. You keep on piling that food, folks. We've had major destruction from a tornado in Wisconsin. I'm going to post a link to that. This has just happened here not a couple hours ago. There's links to that. Also, folks, they're having big issues out of the Three Rivers Gorge Dam or whatever it is. It's the biggest dam. I think it's the biggest dam on the planet. And also, a quick fact when they filled the Three Gorges Dam up, it actually slowed the rotation of the Earth. And the dam is having issues. It's bowing. And these floods, it's not going to hold up. So we need to keep an eye on the Three Gorges Dam in China. Laura Loomis says it's time for the U.S. to give access to Patriot missiles. Well, folks, we got one problem. The Orange Man, baby. has either used them or sold them. We don't have enough to give access to Ukraine. Let's see here. Let me go over here to this because I have some stuff put together for you all. Zwinski, 3 big threats we're tracking. First, North Korea is going to send Russia 30,000 more soldiers. That's not going to stop them. Cerberus. They're not even responding to these floods or giving their citizens any help. They're actually staging photo ops and dumping water on our street to make it look like they're helping. There was some soldiers that showed up in one Providence. They stayed for a little while and then they left. They're not using their what's the word I'm looking for? Supply. Another word for supplies. They're we'll just use supplies. They're not using their supplies and their stockpiles of stuff to help the citizens, and that kind of tells me that they're saving this for when they go into Taiwan. The Taiwan invasion holds resources. Retro. The Taiwan invasion holds priority over top of trying to help their own citizens. So, but yeah, Zelensky says North Korea is going to send Russia another 30,000 soldiers. The second one, Iran is sending Russia ballistic missiles. Of course, we know they are. And third and biggest, China is helping Russia with satellite and targeting tech to strike us more precisely. They're also helping Iran. Zelensky, Iran and North Korea have already attacked us. Iran gave Russia thousands of Shahed drones, then licensed to build them. North Korea has given Russia weapons, missiles, 155 caliber artillery, and 10,000 of their own soldiers, and they're fixing to send Russia another 30,000 soldiers. North Korea is. Oh, also, folks, guess what? The U.S. has revised the Iran war count to 18 unalived and 624 wounded. 624 wounded. I knew the numbers that they was trying to tell us was fake. Well, I think these numbers are still fake, but they're getting closer. We're going to let my helper help with this one. Let me go down here and find it. Open in reading mode. Okay, listen to this one, folks.
Axios reports that U.S. Central Command CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper recommended ending the recent bombing campaign around the Strait of Hormuz after concluding it had largely achieved its objectives and reached the limit of its effectiveness. According to Axios, Cooper told senior defense officials that 2 weeks of strikes had significantly degraded Iran's ability to attack shipping and that most planned targets had already been hit. He reportedly said the remaining roughly 20% of designated Operation Epic Fury targets would require a return to major combat operations, and that absent such a decision, there was little military value in continuing the limited bombing campaign. Axios says Cooper's assessment, along with warnings from Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane about dwindling air defense interceptor stocks, helped influence President Trump's decision to pause U.S. strikes on Friday. The report adds that U.S.-Iran talks are continuing while both sides appear to be observing an informal, quiet for quiet, pause.
Well, there you have it. Even the Joint Chiefs of Staff is saying that he is worried about the wind on air defense interceptor stocks. Here's another report on the U.S. officials worry that Putin and XI, which is she, may see depleted American munition stockpiles as an opening moves against Ukraine, Europe, and Taiwan. Chinese analysts have already called the U.S. a giant with a limp. Yeah, Nadine, I think it's double that on the wounded. I've seen too many satellite photos of housing centers inside these bases with direct hits. Yeah, we need really, and that with China not helping with the flooding, they're not using their resources. Kind of tells me that they're planning something, and they're not going to let anything get in the way of it. And if I was China, I would make my move this fall. I would. I don't like saying this, but the U.S. is very vulnerable right now due to the lack of air defense missiles. And after this big mess that we've done with Iran, you know China and Russia is studying this. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Trump on Israel BB opposing sending F-35s to Turkey. Trump says, nobody tells me what we should be selling or not. Turkey has been a tremendous ally. No, Turkey has not. And also, Turkey was on the verge of supplying air defense support to Iran. Bet y'all didn't know that. Yep, Turkey was on the verge of supplying air defense support to Iran. And I will get some more information on that in just a second. Because it's been a few days since I read that story. I'm just pulling this out the top of my head right now. Okay. Yes. Turkey was prepared to provide aerial military air support to Iran. Israel. Turkey warned it would act to stop the Kurdish militia incursion into Iran, which was a broader Israel-U.S. plan involving Mossad CIA support for the Kurdish groups from Iraqi Kurdistan, aimed at pressuring or toppling the Iranian government. The Iranian foreign minister confirmed that Turkey played an effective role in thwarting the Kurdish offensive by taking firm positions with Americans. Uh, Trump commented that Turkey could have gotten into the fight and that he urged Turkey's president to stay out. Folks, I'm getting a phone call. Give me just a couple seconds. But yeah, All right, folks, I'm back. I've been, while I was on the phone here, I was been asking AI here why the RC channel. And it doesn't know. It says that I should be getting a tremendous amount of views because my CTR rate and retention is awesome. 71.5 stayed to watch, solid engaged videos, relate to unique views, above usual watch time, and average viewer duration. Show that people who do click tend to stick around. That means the content itself is delivering for the audience that finds it. You have a bottleneck. Um, YouTube is not showing the video to anyone. But anyway, but yeah, definitely censorship. All right, can you all tell me how much beef prices have surged since Trump took office? Yep, turkey is zebras. Can anybody tell me how much beef prices have surged since Trump took office? Anybody? Also, folks, we really, really need your all's help to be able to just keep the funds going to do this and keep me from losing having to sell stuff. Go to that link that's pinned in chat. Go there and get us a coffee. You don't know how much we would appreciate it. Also, if you would like to become a member for as little as $5 a month, it's $5. You get access to our Discord that has over 100 channels. There's so much news that goes through that thing a day, you cannot keep up with it all. It also gets your access to our members only roundtables. It's like a giant video conference call where you can come in and talk with me while we're doing the news. So click that link, go over and sign up. It's just $5 a month. We need at least 50 more members. We went from having almost 400 members on YouTube to less than 50 now. And most of them has no clue where we have went to because it was a light switch. It got turned off. We lost our reach to everybody. Some of you have found us, and a lot of you don't have your notifications turned on in Discord and don't check in. So you have no clue where we have went to. Please, when you join Discord, if you want to turn notifications off for all channels, leave the notifications on for the all call channel. You can do that up here at the top in notification settings. It says mute channel, use category default, only mentions, which is what you need to do. So turn on only mentions. So when I tag at everybody, you get an alert. Because when stuff big goes on, I go in here and alert everybody. And if you have your alerts turned off, you won't get the alert. And if the U.S. does get attacked, you will know from me way in advance. Then that alert comes over top of your phone. And we're getting to the point to where Russia is in that corner, and that caged animal is going to lash out. Anybody tell me how much beef prices have went up since Trump took office? I'm going to give you a couple more seconds. I know somebody can tell me. So, can anybody tell me how much beef prices have went up? Give me a percentage, folks. They've went up 29%. Beef prices have went up 29%. It is now almost $8.50 a pound across the board for beef. That's all steaks, hamburger, and everything put together. $8.50 a pound. Okay, I've got some more big news here. Chinese researchers were sneaking biological materials past the U.S. Border Patrol in 2018. The Wuhan Institute of Virology appears to have been collaborating with military medical researchers on coronavirus research. It always leads back to Wuhan. Imagine that. The U.S. State Department has just awarded a $1 million no-bid contract to Anti-Woke Job Board to screen for values alignment when recruiting foreign service officers. The company's owner said on a podcast that employees should avoid any applicants using they, them pronouns. The Department of Energy canceled $7.6 billion in clean energy grants because the projects did not accurately advance the nation's energy needs or were not economically viable. That's just not true. Do you want to know what the truth is? Last week, this administration told a federal court in writing that the grants was killed based solely on the political identity of the grant recipient state. All the 16 states that they canceled voted for Harris. And I will post you a link to this article. You may find this fascinating, because I do. There you go. This is weaponization of government organizations. The Trump administration just published a new regulation allowing asylum officers at the USCIS, that's the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, to deny hundreds of thousands of applications without even getting an interview, sending applicants directly to the deportation proceedings. This means people will never even get a chance to argue their case. Here is info on that too. Sorry, but everybody should have the opportunity to argue their case. This sure does sound like a violation of the constitutional due process. The Houthis have now targeted the Yangbu pipeline directly, not just tankers in the water. This is the pipeline that had been absorbing the Bab and Mandeb rerouting. Saudi oil exports are already struck on the longer, more expensive path around Africa. Now the backup pipeline itself is under fire. There is no route left. And here is a link to that video of the pipeline on fire. Saudi Amcro's refinery, we all know that it's been hit by drones and it's caused a massive fire at the facility. And the east-west pumping station, NASA firm satellite imagery confirms extensive fire activity at the site. Can anybody tell me how much this refinery and oil stabilization plant processes of the global supply? Can anybody tell me? It's the world's largest crude oil plant refinery. Saudi Arabia has blamed Iran-backed resistance groups in Iraq for the attack, and they've begun emergency flaring at multiple production sites and says it reserves the right to respond. Come on, folks. Can you tell me what percentage of the global oil supply that this plant does? Nobody? Christy? Grandma? Sabris? Anybody on YouTube? Can you tell me? Retro? Nadine? Yeah, it's huge. Great fun. It processes 5 to 7% of the global oil supply. Yep, Grapevine 7%. You got it. Nailed it. Just as I was reading it off. 7% is now offline. All good here. Nothing to see. Yeah. This oil prices that we are seeing is artificial prices. Just wait until they can no longer artificially keep prices down. Faith, 7%. Just wait. Oil should be 150 to 200 dollars a barrel right now. Facilities are being blown up left and right. The Bab and Mandrid Strait is blocked. The Hormuz Strait is blocked. Oil prices should not be in the $80 a barrel range. Yeah, Grapevine, I could see $200 to $300 a barrel. What's going on? Just wait. It's coming to a head. And when it takes off, there's no stopping it. Hang on a second, folks. I got to pull up a camera and watch somebody. Yeah, let me pull up the camera here a second. Okay. You can hear me. But yeah, this is crazy. Hey, folks, I think we're going to wrap this up today. We've been live for an hour. So we will see you all tomorrow. Remember, Wednesday, we have our roundtable on Wednesday. So with that, folks, I am out of news for today. I've got more, but we've been live for an hour. It's late in the afternoon, so we will save it for tomorrow. YouTube, folks, you go ahead and migrate over here to Rumble, and we are going to play some news. So there is your link to the Rumble. We will see you on Rumble. So go over there. We are ending the YouTube stream. See you tomorrow, folks.